Hello, my name is Laura Luna, and I'm a visual communication major with my emphasis focusing on motion design. My style of work focuses around mysterious and dark aspects with a fantasy aesthetic tied in. After Effects and Procreate tend to be my main programs of use. The techniques I focus on are 2D animation and the occasional experimental animation techniques such as stop motion. This is my demo reel. Honor was part of a personal project that was based on a dystopian world that has stopped in time. The color palette was kept dark in this piece as I wanted to showcase the glowing effect on the on-air sign switching on and looking as if the light will go out, but instead, the rest of the background fades and the red glow stays on as an ominous warning. Radius is the next piece that follows and is also part of this dystopian world. Within the piece, we see references to a companion radio with a cathedral-style cabinet that gives off the aesthetic of the 1940s. The next one takes some inspiration from a Centrum W51 tube radio circa 1941 and from a Magno wooden box radio. And the last one references a Grundig 97S from 1959. I wanted each to be seen changing from one to another with a glitch effect that was reminiscent of a radio wave. It gives a sense of nostalgia, and when radios were something everyone had in their house to keep in touch with the world and as a source of entertainment. Cartwheel is a self-portrait loop of a simple skill in gymnastics. The sport holds a special place in my heart as I participated and competed in it for 12 years. I wanted to keep the design simple and only use solid shapes and colors. I wanted to solely focus on the figure moving while giving the illusion of coming closer to the viewer as the figure goes out of frame a little bit. It's subtle but is noticed with the style framing of the piece. Eyes was a simple transition that I wanted to experiment with a glowing effect. They say eyes are the windows to the soul, and I couldn't agree more with that saying. I love focusing on the eyes in my work, whether detailed or simple, as they can say a lot. Afraid and Liar are personal pieces where I wanted to showcase a side with the exterior factor that people see with the characters and what they represent. Although being sisters, each of them have a different personality and each have their own personal agenda that they follow. The glitch effect was created with many layers, as this was before Procreate 5X was announced. It was a tedious task, but the results were worth it in the end. The spears and hand motion were a part of a story world project that I was happy to create as we had liberty to create our own world. I've had these characters and the world written out for many years now, and to see them come to life was something I had always dreamed of. I had learned a new method while working on this project, and using the puppet tool in After Effects gave the piece a new dimension of life. The moving background was originally a still image for a scene in the story world project. During this project, it gave me a new perspective on backgrounds and an enjoyment of drawing them more. Before, they were honestly the bane of my existence and I dreaded drawing them. But after giving them a new light with this project, it was a complete 180. I looked forward to drawing each of the backgrounds within these pieces and was so excited to see what I had envisioned come to light. The nail transition was inspired by Jossie Juretz on Instagram. I love doing my nails and wanted to try out this nail art that she had done during lockdown. It was a bit of a challenge, but the end result came out better than I could have ever imagined, and it was definitely a different way of doing a transition. I wanted to try out a new style of animation and decided to do stop motion. This was not the first time that I had done stop motion animation, but it was the first time using clay. It was a new experience, and through it I had learned quite a bit. I hope to do some more in the future, as stop motion animation is one of my favorite types of animation techniques. I had created this piece based on the song Hostage by Billie Eilish. Her music has a complex and dark tone that I love, and I wanted to convey the lyrics in this song with my own interpretation, but still have a simplicity to it that gave it a haunting feeling. The gold was the main focal point of the piece and needed to have almost a life of its own. It starts off with a small amount and grows in size on the hand and on the lip. In doing so, the person is drawn as a simple line drawing in each frame, but the gold is more detailed and has shadow and highlights. This piece was probably the start of my love for visual development, as well as seeing a new light to backgrounds, but at the time I wasn't aware of it yet. This is also part of the dystopian world, but seen in a different view. I wanted to give this world somewhat of a rusted look and keep with an earth tone palette throughout. At the end of the animation, the girl is looking off into the distance, but it also feels like she is looking at the viewer at the same time. The motive of eyes plays a major role within this world, as it is seen in the posters and on the trees. Galaxia's Lunar Arts logo was a play on the words of galaxy and Luna, part of it being my last name, and part of it for my love of space. The image is based off of a spiral galaxy, as it spins out from the center and expands into a waxing gibbous moon. This is the conclusion of my demo reel. I wanted to give a big thank you to my friends and my family for their constant support, to my parents for supporting my endeavors and going into art and animation, to my friends for always being there even on those long nights when something went sideways, and to boost each other for motivation. I wanted to also thank my professors for helping me and believing in what I could create and pushing me to go further with my animations. The future holds a lot, and I look forward to what is to come and to keep improving on my skills. Thank you.